Thank you so much. Thank you, Archbishop. Good evening. Let me first thank the Armenian Genocide Centennial Committee on behalf of myself, Councilmember Paul Krikorian, and the other elected officials who are here from so many of our cities here in the South. Thank you, Archbishop Meri, for welcoming me to join you for this invitation and this holy responsibility. And let me thank Archbishop Gomez, too, for welcoming this to our city's cathedral, which time and again, in our most joyous and some of our saddest moments, we come together as one city. We gaze at saints on the wall to remember that our path and our passageway is not a new one, but one that has been tread before us so often. And this church is always welcoming us as a place to uplift ourselves and to feel our common humanity. This is an incredibly beautiful assemblage of religious leaders today. I want to thank each and every one of them. All of our religious leaders that are here, who represent the face of this city. Councilmember Krikorian and I just came from what in some ways is my most important civic address of the year, the State of the City address. My family, we rushed over here from Northbridge because this was a speech and a moment that I would never miss. But I had to think about the state of this city for the last few days, and now it's elevated to where I think through this city's prism about the state of this world. We measure our moment in time in this place, and we're always pulled to other places because on the streets of Los Angeles you see the face of the world. This city is the most diverse collection of human beings, not just on the earth today, but ever in human history. But we also don't just assess our place here and there, but also now and then, as we're drawn back a century to the start of a moment in human history that we pray for and hope we never see again. The loss of 1.5 million souls is always something we can't comprehend. The mind can take on one or two very tragic stories. At these commemorations, sometimes we lose one or two so that we can mark just how painful this meant to one family, to one village, to one street. But as you begin to make that a dozen, the human spirit becomes overwhelmed. Even with the help of our religious leaders, by the time we're at 100 or 1,000, we lose track. At 10,000 or 100,000 souls, we picture things like stadiums full of people and imagine in a race. When we get to 1.5 million people, we don't even have a picture that we've ever seen in a lifetime. It is something so big and so horrible that we push it away and outward to someplace else far away from us. That is one of the difficult things for us about being human. Every religious tradition teaches us that we can all be saints and that we're all sinners. And we see the light in each one of us every day, but when we see darkness in humanity, we might push it away and say it's somebody else. But we know that we're all capable of that darkness as well. What holds us together, family, faith, the traditions, a city like this that stands for the ideals of humanity's divinity. Those things help us make sure that the pathway we march as human beings is forward, even if we take steps backward. Scholars speak of the arc of history, and today, in solidarity with the people of Armenia and the Armenian diaspora, we speak of a genocide. We speak of it not only to do justice to those who are gone and a community that lives, but to do justice to ourselves as human beings. We heard what Pope Francis said, the courage that we had. But it shouldn't take courage or be called courage to speak truth. In the Jewish Bible or the Old Testament, in the original temple, the priest once taught that one could not pray in a room that had no windows. And when scholars later asked why that was the case, they determined that when you pray, it is so divine that it cannot be just put into a room and not shared with others. Truth is just like that. You can't lock it away in a windowless room. The windows, each one of the people in this room is a window into that truth. And nobody can close it off or board it up or take it away. It isn't just the legacy of the Armenian people, it is the legacy of humanity. And if we care about one another, and if we love the ideals of every religion that human beings have ever come up with, we must recognize that it is our destiny to break that down. You see, when innocence is slaughtered, it takes away not just the humanity of the lives lost, but it takes away our divinity as well. That if we are made in God's image, every human being, that to deny that loss, and deny that it is targeted towards innocent people, that's what a genocide is, a targeting of innocent people based on the family writ large they are a part of, be it a Christian family or a Jewish family, be it their ethnic makeup, be it their geography, that means that they are targeted, and we all are targeted with them. Every great religion teaches us about man's universality. And if we ever needed a more beautiful picture of it, we have that here today, in this city. I believe that Los Angeles is more than just a city, it is a metaphor. It is a metaphor for what is possible. Survivors and hard workers, people who flee war and genocide, who cross rivers and oceans, who have come here, not just to make a better life. And you see a reflection of an Armenian nation that will never be cut down, that will never be slaughtered, that can never be erased from the face of this earth. And they are here in this city of angels to act as angels, to reflect who we are, and alongside others. This space here in this city is a territory that is neutral, where we can put down divisions and speak the truth, that a genocide occurred, that 1.5 million souls were erased from this earth, and we have a responsibility to make sure that everybody on this earth recognizes them. It is precisely because of our freedoms that we bear a special burden. We often hear about survivors' guilt. Sometimes it affects police officers who have a partner who was killed in line of duty and they never can get over it. Sometimes it affects an entire people. I'm Jewish. Why did I survive while so many of my fellow co-religionists are erased? For the Armenians that are here with us today, why are we here and not our cousins? Why are we here and not our great-grandparents? Why are we here? Well, if we remain people of faith, we are here to take that freedom and to do something with it. To not let geopolitics somehow put a muzzle on us or handcuffs on doing what is right. When I visit Germany and I see the horrors of the Holocaust, I see a country that not only has owned up to it, but has been set free by their admission. I wish that too for everybody on this earth. I wish it for our Turkish friends. And those Turks who are brave enough to speak the truth deserve our support. They are free. And they can set their countrymen free too. Their political leaders free by simply saying what we all know occurred. 100 years ago, while slaughter happened in Anatolia, and we lost soul after soul after soul after soul, they didn't go unnoticed. The New York Times ran 145 stories on the race extermination of Armenians. We didn't have the word genocide yet, even in our vocabulary, but it was clear what it was. The coverage was so prolific that it led Herbert Hoover to state, probably Armenia was known to the American schoolchild only a little less than England. This country, 100 years later, needs to make sure that every child still knows that here. And tonight I see so many friends, both in this audience and here up on the dais. I was so proud as a council member to represent Little Armenia for 12 years, to march in the streets after April 24th. I said from Mount Ararat to Mount Hollywood, the tears that we shed to commemorate those that are gone. I've been proud to link this city even more strongly with Mother Armenia, making Los Angeles and Yerevan sister cities. Humbled to take a country just as Councilmember Gregorian and I will do shortly, to remember those who are gone. I've been to Puerto and felt where Gregor the Illuminator, stuck in a hole, found God, led a nation. And as mayor of the great city of Los Angeles, I will always stand with the Armenian people, and I will always stand for truth in this city. So let us take truth out of its dark room, and let us take the future into the hands of all of humanity. Let us not continue to gather each year to mark the work undone. This should be a holy day solely to remember those that are gone. It should not be the double burden of the Armenian community and its friends and all God-loving human beings to have to correct history when history is what it is. There is a beautiful painting, the British Museum in London. It is the angel of history. And she spreads her wings out. And the torrent of the wind is so strong as she tries to move forward that it keeps pulling her back. And when she looks down at this photo, she sees the heap of history, its twisted and gnarled mass, the collection of human tragedy that history sometimes can be. She reminds us that it is our destiny, even in the face of those winds, to spread our wings, to brave the gale forces, and to move forward. This is a city of angels, and you are the angels today who have gathered with our religious leaders to make sure that 100 years from when it started, we come back soon to remember those that are gone and not to write the history of genocide. It is a genocide, and in Los Angeles, we accept that. And we move forward with a responsibility